This is why you are procrastinating.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood.
So, what is procrastination? Google says that procrastination is the action of delaying or postponing something. For me, I define it as putting off a task till the very last minute for the fear that it won't be perfect. Procrastination and motivation are things that I think everybody struggles with at some point. I've tried so many methods to try and avoid procrastination, but I haven't found a method that works 100% for me until now. So, in this video, I'm just going to share some tips and things that I do when I'm in a motivation rut and I need to be productive and I cannot afford to be procrastinating. Basically, this video is just going to show you how you can improve your routine and daily ideas and thoughts to be more productive and procrastinate less. So, subscribe if you're new and let's get into it. So step number 1 is to wake up earlier. Now this is something that isn't the easiest. I must admit, not many people do like waking up very early, especially when you're used to a routine where you stay up late and wake up later. Making that conscious choice to go to bed earlier so that you can be productive the next day is the first step towards having a productive day and having a section of your day that's very, very productive, because if you don't, then you will procrastinate. If you don't in your head say, look, you know what, I'm going to wake up early tomorrow and I'm going to be productive, and you have that mindset in your head, which I'll talk about a little bit later, then it's very, very hard to change your routine and wake up earlier because you're so used to this mindset. I watched a video by Matt Diavella, I will link his channel down below as well as that video, which really just inspired me, and I listened to his podcast as well where he talked about this before. Usually after 9 PM it's either scrolling through your phone or watching YouTube videos that you could easily watch the next day. I'm not going to sit here and say that I go to bed early because I don't. That's something that I've been working on for a very long time and I'm still trying to work on, but I find that when I do go to bed earlier and wake up earlier, it gets me in such a productive mindset and I get so much done the next day. The only thing I will say is that if you wake up early and still go to bed late, that's not going to make you any more productive. You have to make sure you're getting enough sleep. Okay, so the second tip I have is to make sure that the space you are in is as tidy as it possibly can be. And it's so much easier to feel motivated and productive when you feel organized, and if you are in an area that's unorganized, you're less likely to feel motivated. Another thing is to take the time out of your day, whether it's half an hour, an hour, to just plan and organize, because that is something that is so important and everybody needs to do that. It will put you in a more productive mindset and will make you feel, again, more organized and more ready for your productive day or productive week. So leading on from that, tip number 3 is to set priorities and goals. Now if you don't set goals, then how are you meant to know whether you've been productive? You have no comparison from the beginning and the end of the day or week, and you don't in your head have that, oh, I've completed that, I've completed that, if you don't plan what you're doing. Even if it's just a simple to-do list, so you can look at that and be like, right, I've done this, now I've got to do this. It means that you get more done because you're looking at a list. If you set yourself tasks where you have to complete them today, like you don't have another choice, you have to complete them today, you've got a list of things that you are focusing on. Because if you have like a mental to-do list, yeah, it can be very effective and can work for some people, but sometimes it can get amongst other thoughts and you can forget to do certain things, which I do all the time. So to plan, I use my bullet journal. This is just the Leuchtturm. I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. I'll put a link to this down below if you want to go and purchase it. This is what I plan my weeks and months out in, just because it makes me more productive. It makes me feel like I know what's going on and I'm very organized, and therefore I can be more productive. So for example, this is my monthly spread for May. If you'd like to see a video on how I organize my life and everything, just let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to film that video. In my bullet journal, I've made space so that I can have a little to-do list for each day, and I color code things just to make me feel more organized and more prepared for my week ahead. Often we end up not being as productive because we have so much to do. There's so many thoughts in our head, so writing it down and reaffirming that this is what I'm going to do today and I will do the rest tomorrow really sets your focus on something. By procrastinating, it only increases stress levels and makes us generally feel worse about ourselves. So if you can change that by planning for half an hour a week, why don't you? So as I said, I have my to-do list, but I do section it off into urgent tasks and ASAP tasks. So the urgent tasks are things, so like something has to be due the next day or within the next week, and ASAP are like text this person or reply to this email, or things that don't necessarily need to be done this second but do need to be done. I complete the urgent tasks first and then I move on to the ASAP tasks. I would 100% just recommend creating a to-do list that works for you. I will link down below a few websites. There are a few websites that have like to-do lists that are pre-made that you can like print out or copy. So number 4 is setting time limits. Now for me this is very important because sometimes I get very distracted and end up spending too long on something that could have taken me 15 minutes, instead I spent an hour on it. I'm able to set myself a goal at the end, I'm able to set myself tasks that I need to complete within this time, and for me it gets me really into that focused mindset that I need to get this done and then I can do that. And by setting a goal I then work to achieve it. So if I say, right, I have an hour, I need to complete this task and this task, and once I've done that, I can then do one of my hobbies. If you don't know what the Pomodoro technique is, I'll put it on the screen now, but basically it's 25 minutes of work and then a 5-minute break, 25 minutes, 5 minutes, 25 minutes, and then a longer break. At least that's what I do anyway. It might be different for everybody, but for me, that is the way I work, and having small, short breaks means that I restrict from going on my phone. That's what I'm going to talk about in a second, so keep watching. There are so many apps or websites that you can do this on. There's like Tomato Timer, I think it's called, which is a website, and then there's the app Forest. I personally really like Forest. You can do up to, I think it's like you can time up to about 2 hours on there, which is really useful, and it means you can't go on your phone. Basically if you go on your phone, you like kill the tree. It's having like an incentive really. So using the Pomodoro technique is really important because it gives your brain time to rest. If you're revising or working towards exams, please make sure you're giving yourself time off, whether that's literally to go and get a drink or to just go for a little walk. Giving your mind time to just shut away from the work you're doing and then go back to it after a little break is so much more productive than just continuously working. Now the next tip I have involves this thing, which is the worst thing for productivity. Yeah, phones. If you're gonna have a productive day, unless you need your phone for your work, turn it off. Put it somewhere that you know you'll forget. Give it to a parent, put it on airplane mode, anything, just to turn it off, get it out of reach. As I said, with the Forest app, it basically means you can't go on your phone, which is why I like it. This is why you are procrastinating. So, turn it off, get it out of your life, throw it away. Maybe not throw it away, but like put it somewhere where you can't see it. I put it on the floor under my desk, or I put it like somewhere that I'm like, oh, I'll put it there, I remember where that is, and then I forget. Turning this off means that you avoid any distractions and means that you can solely focus on the task you have to complete. In your head, make it your focus, so once I've completed my task, I can then go on my phone. You're making that conscious choice to not procrastinate on your phone and to focus on what's important in that specific moment. And it also means that you are focusing on your own personal progress and not always seeing what other people are doing on Instagram or on other social platforms. I will be talking about social media in another kind of commentary-ish video soon, so please stay tuned for that because it's really important and it will cover topics that are covered in this video too. So yeah, stay tuned. Music. Now, music for me is the way that I am able to be my most productive. I have to be in a certain mood for certain type of music, which is why my Spotify account has about maybe like 30 playlists. Lo-fi music for me works really, really well. I have an entire playlist on my Spotify. I'll put my name up here. That you can go over and follow if you would like to. Just because for me, if I'm listening to like my favourite songs, I will sing along, which is not the best use of my time. If I'm writing something, so for example an essay, I will always listen to lo-fi music because that is the thing that just keeps me focused and means that I don't go off topic. You might think instrumental music is boring, or you're just sat there like, this is not making me feel motivated at all, which is fine. Everybody feels motivated in different ways, which is why I have made another playlist. This will be linked down below. I'll have so many links in the description box. There's also a playlist on Spotify called like coffee shop songs. I think that for me is so useful. Whenever I'm in like Starbucks or a cafe working, I love listening to like the atmosphere, and I feel like that playlist really captures that. So if you like that too, check out that playlist. Again, linked below if you couldn't guess. So my next tip is to do the hardest task first, or the thing you're dreading the most anyway. This is such a thing for like a mum to say or a teacher to say, and you just be like, yeah, sure, like it's not gonna make a difference to my life, but it will. If you get that hardest task done, you get a boost of motivation that, oh, I've already done that today, I can do these other things quite quickly and easily. Getting something that you have dreaded doing done is the most satisfying feeling and makes you feel so good about yourself. Getting that task done first is literally just gonna put your day in the best position. Your happiness levels and general like momentum will be so much higher if you have completed something that you've been putting off. So, would recommend. So, the law of attraction. Now, I'm going to be doing an entire video on this soon, so please stay tuned for that, but I will link a couple in the description box that I have found very, very useful. Having that belief in yourself that you are going to complete these tasks and it will be absolutely fine. You've got to have that belief in yourself that you are able to complete these tasks, otherwise that will just decrease your productivity and your motivation. And even if you kind of have to fake believing in it for a little bit, it's better than not trying at all. So wake up and start your day feeling like you can do this rather than the opposite, because that will instantly switch something in your brain and will make your day so much more productive if you choose to make it that way. Another thing that I would recommend, which is not as much related to productivity, just happiness in general, is read quotes. A lot of people will think, oh, quotes are so cliche, but they are so helpful. If you have that tiniest bit of self-doubt, you're not going to be as productive as you could be. So get yourself on Pinterest, get a few quotes, put them on your wall, I don't know, set them as your background on your laptop, something that you can look at and be like, oh, that's cool. For this, I would recommend a website called Momentum. This basically just allows you to track your productivity, really. There's always a quote and you can type in your goals for the day. There's a to-do list, something that is so useful. And as I said earlier, to-do lists are so crucial to being productive. It's the one that looks like this that all the people who do study videos on YouTube use. So yeah, would recommend. Okay, so the final thing is start your day by thinking how you want to feel at the end of your day. Do you want to feel accomplished? Do you want to feel like you've completed loads, or do you want to feel the opposite? I should hope you want to feel productive. If you want to feel that sense of achievement, the only person who's going to make it happen is you. You've got to make that conscious choice to choose to be productive and to choose to make yourself feel good, because nobody's going to do it for you, unfortunately. Nobody's going to take time out of their day to get your dreams for you. So you've got to work towards that and get them yourself. Keep your mindset fixated on getting that thing and working towards it. This is again part of law of attraction, and having that focus in your mindset that you're going to get there, and you just need to work hard to get there. Right, and that is everything for this video. When this video goes up, it will be my like 2-year YouTube anniversary from when I first created this channel. Not when I first like uploaded a video, but when I first created this channel, is tomorrow when this goes up, which is so crazy. Like what? Like what? 2 years? That's insane. So thank you very much for all your support over the past 2 years. I really appreciate it. Whether you came last week, today, or 2 years ago, thank you very much. I am honestly so blessed to be where I am, and I'm very grateful. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope this has helped you in some way or other. Please let me know if there's any other videos you want me to film, because I always do get stuck on ideas and I would love to know what you would like to see from me. And I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!